Hey all, Boardgamerants here, where you'll find everything solo tabletop gaming and more. And what do we got here? Well, we got Terra Mystica. This weekend, I've had it out actually for probably a couple weeks. I've gotten 8 plays in solo. And the big box has all sorts of expansion stuff. It's got Merchants of the Sea, the Fire and Ice. It's got the Automa. There's a little rule book here. There it is. The Automa as well, so you can play officially solo. And that is what prompted me to get this, because Gaia Project, the space sci-fi version of Terra Mystica, is one of my favorite games of all time. I love the game. And so I had an original copy of Terra Mystica. I sold it because it didn't have, well, I had a couple unofficial solo variants, if I recall, and I wasn't enamored with any of them. And when I heard this was coming out, I was like, I'm going to get it. I got to have it. Because it's basically the same game as Gaia Project, except for fantasy-oriented. It's the OG here. Do I like it better? I like aspects of it better. Definitely the Automa. The Automa, the way this deck runs, is fabulously smooth compared to Gaia Project. It runs very similar in that you draw 2 cards and you kind of pair up the 2 columns here. But the sticky point for Gaia Project for me was the Automa putting out their dwellings. Well, I think in Gaia Project it's their mines, I believe, but it's the first building you have to start with, and then everything kind of, once you build your mines, then you can turn those into these trading houses, which then you can turn into, this is the one of the expansions here, where you can build up there, you can build this direction, you build up everything starts with these dwellings. And the way the Automa works to place its dwellings with Terra Mystica is so smooth compared to, it's really refined in that way. It's not a big headache like it is with Gaia Project, trying to figure out where to put your dwellings, your mines, I guess. And then the other thing is the way it scores. When you're playing Gaia Project, the AI just shoots out way ahead, and it's basically, a game of catch up every time, if I recall. Here, it's very tight. It's kind of a tight race all the way around. So it just feels better in that fashion. It feels more realistic. So a nice tight way of scoring, where you're together through most of the game, and then you've got your end game scoring stuff there. But aside from that, but that's a big thing though. I wish I like Gaia Project better. I like Gaia Project better mainly because of this. I'm not a big fan, never have been, of this temple board. It's just boring to me. So, you just go up and you get some power, and now, when you got these tiles that you can pick up, which is cool. But I just like the way Gaia Project does it better. I like Gaia Project has a technology track. Oh, you know what? I'm going to show you. So here's the temple track for Gaia Project. It's a big board. You got 6 tracks to go up, and in Terra Mystica, 2 of the tracks are actually on your player board, and that's which increases how expensive it is to terraform and what your range is. So there's that, which then you have 4 tracks that you would work on for other stuff. But I just like the way the things that you get when you work up on a track are all thematic and interesting. You get something every step of the way, and part of what you do is get these, which replaces I don't know what the oval things are called over in Terra Mystica. Anyway, these are that version in Gaia Project, and these technology tiles, these basic technology tiles, you get these, and then as you work your way up the track, you can get these advanced technologies tiles. Now these are the same in every game. There's always the same, what is it, 6, 7, 8, 9. But up here, these are variable every game. One of the rewards you can get is variable every game on this track. And also too, you have a delicious decision to make, because when you get an advanced technology, you have to put it on top of one, slot it on top of a basic technology. I just like this whole decision process better with the temple track idea. I think Gaia Project is just way better for me. And also too, with Gaia Project, you've got a bigger variable board setup, space, and you're just flipping. You got a bunch of tiles out there, 7 or 8 tiles, and I prefer that. Now with Terra Mystica, at least the big box, you get 4 boards. Well, you get 2 boards, and they're double-sided, and so there's just pre-printed 4 different boards, which is cool. I like that. The setup is pretty quick. If you want to start a new game with just a different feel, you can just flip over the board or grab one of the other boards. My understanding is that the big box does not come with a 5th board. And there is a 5th board. I don't know what it is, but I did see some notes by people who were displeased with that. Anyway, 4 boards for me is plenty. But after 8 games of this, I do like it very much. And again, I wish I could use this solo system in Gaia Project, and I would be in the happiest of all sweet spots where solo gaming is concerned. After 8 games, I finally pulled off. I was playing one of the expansion factions there, the Ice Maidens, and managed to win. And it was a close game, but I lost 6 out of 8 games. There's some difficulty levels here. So I was playing on normal difficulty, which is where it has the 2 automa on the top. And this is the easiest difficulty with the 1. And then there is 2 other cards that can ramp up the level there. So I finally won on normal. I've won once on easy. But that's Terra Mystica. And over here in the main gaming area, Cerebria, I've been meaning to bust this out for a couple years now. It's a very heavy game. It's made by, what's here? Victor Peter, Richard Amon. This is, what kind of think of the Mind Clash games. And so Anachrony was made by Mind Clash games. Tricerion was made by Mind Clash. So this is a heavy game. And this is some heavy game when you're playing the full version. And but it is just a genuinely wonderful solo experience. It's a lot. I mean, you got a whole, solo rule book to go through here. This is not for the, rookie solo player or someone just kind of getting into it. Here's the rule book for just the main game. So you gotta get through the main game and learn it first. And I'm skipping pages here. So anyway, there is there is muchness to this. There's some great helper sheets. Some biscuit that fall on the ground nicely when you're clumsy. But this game, one, it's beautiful. I love the tie-dye thing. So gorgeous to look at, sweet looking pieces, lots of complexity, lots of different, you can play different characters on this one as well. And they're double-sided. There's an A side and there's a B side. There's kind of a simplified side. There's a complicated side. Then you got these boards here, which, that's a whole other part of the game, but it has an A and a B side. And then you've got, you can play either gloom or bliss. There's basically, you're developing an identity in this game, and you can either play gloom or bliss in that process. So it's kind of a battle. Blue against orange, gloom against bliss, and your cards thematically represent, I'm playing gloom, so mistrust, pessimism, and I'll be, up against cards like generosity and kindness. So it's an area control game, basically what it is. And you'll be siphoning off these pieces here that was willpower, which is sort of like money. And as this thing goes around and you blast yourself as this goes around, you're going to be adding pieces to the identity here in the middle, and big fragments, little fragments, and eventually you get to that's a very small identity there, and this is typically much taller, but at the end the scoring is very, very simple. It's very simple. You're going to have 2 score tracks, one for gloom and one for bliss, and then depending on what the fragments are here in the middle, they're on the end game scoring. It just tells you how much, if it's a small fragment, it's worth 3 victory points. Big fragment, or major, or whatever it's called, 5. And then if you're at the top, you got your cap on there, you get 4 points. And that's the scoring. So massively complex game here, as you're playing cards and taking cards off and powering them, and just all this stuff happens out here as you're trying to. And you've got your objectives. You have a secret objective, and then you got a common objective that you're both going after, and when one of these empties, that's that scoring round takes place as well. So anyway, those scoring rounds is when you're going to add these fragments. Beautiful game, beautifully complex game, and let's see here. I think I just finished 3 games of it. I remember in the past I had an issue. I felt like the game was a little too easy. It does have some difficulty level adjustments that you can do here, but I remember adding like most of these in and still being able to pull off a win. Well, right now I'm losing pretty handily, only adding about 3 of these. So I don't remember playing gloom either, so maybe bliss is just more powerful than gloom. I don't know. This game really doesn't get any love, so I don't think people really have gotten into it that much to determine stuff like that. But yeah, if you're into good heavy, and it was David Turczi that made this, or he was one of the David Turczi, Nick Shaw, very common duo here that made this solo mode. It's fantastic, great game, and I'll never be getting rid of this one. Not Cerebria. In the background, you might have noticed this beast. I got this when I was out of state, and got it for $80 cash. It's got barricade modes. It actually I think it has all of the expansions in it. Open it up, it's got this thing in here you take out, and it has all the boards, I think it has all of the different stories and expansions and stuff in it. It has some stuff that hasn't even been opened yet. What we got here? Quest 6 and 7 epic support. So I think it has all the quest expansions, barricades, of course, which is the solo mode. And the thing weighs. It weighs over 20 pounds. I think this is like 23 pounds or something of stuff in this. So always been a fan of Thunderstone, and always been looking to get Thunderstone Quest, but yeah, when you already have Thunderstone, the original, way back when, I was just looking for a good deal that would just kind of have everything, and I think I found it. So anyway, looking forward to getting more into this game. On my couch over here, I got a couple games that just came in. I got some Ding and Dent special stuff. Holler Tower, however you say that. I haven't played a Yui game in a while, and so I hear good things about this from a solo version Golem as well. I'm looking forward to digging into that. These look like all these are heavy games. This expansion New Dale, so this was based off one of my favorite card games by Alexander Pfister. I have not been Oh My Goods. That's what it is. No prior knowledge of Oh My Goods required, which when you had the something in Revolt expansion, you could play it solo. But this is an advanced level game in 8 chapters. I have struggled to find Alexander Pfister game that I really enjoyed since like Great Western Trail and that card game. There's been a bunch that have come out, and none of them have clicked with me. So looking forward to getting into those games soon. And lastly, Cascadia. Great little game here, pretty popular these days. It comes with a solo mode. This is definitely on the lighter side. I don't get a lot of these games because they don't tend to stick with me too much. But I played it solo. I played it more multiplayer. Me and my son. I played it more multiplayer than I have. I don't know where the other sheet is. Anyway, solo, but I'm thinking of digging into it a little bit more with the you got. It's a tile laying game, and then you're just trying to you got variable cards that you deal out each game that you're going to use to score, and you put out your bears, and you're going to put out your fox, and you're going to put out your eagles, and certain patterns on these tiles. It ends up being just a very beautiful game once you get it out there, and then you also score for your having the like territories next to each other. But there's also this whole section here on achievements that you can do when you're playing multiplayer. So it takes a game, and it mixes up the how you score. So you can see how you want to have all your bears together with this particular game. If you draw this scoring card, and then it tells you how you're going to score. It's very very straightforward, but it goes through all the animals, and I think there's 5 different animals if I'm remembering correctly, and there's 5 different territories. Oh yeah, here's all the animals: the bears, elk, salmon, hawk, fox, and then you've got 5 different territories to go with that. You're going to score for your biggest territories. You're going to score for placing your animals on your territories in certain patterns, and so it's very very easy to teach, and just a good time. Very light-hearted, competitive game. And then you've got beautiful pieces too. You've got your this bag here. You'd be drawn out random random animals that you'll be placing on your tiles there, and I see 3 of them so far. Come on, right, there we go. There's the fox and the so you'll be placing these on top of your tiles, and the tiles tell you basically which you can put an eagle or a fox on there. So you'll have a time where you'll have to decide which one, and of course you're going to be trying to place them on those tiles as in certain patterns, and just good stuff. Great game. I can see the appeal here. Is it going to hold my attention? I don't know. Again, it's not a heavy game, but it's the premise to me is attractive in that. Damn it! There's a freaking solo. I'm staring right at it, and I just don't see it. Cascadia achievements. Oh, here we go. Solo mode. And then, and also too, there's family variants. So I mean, you can play it really easy. So just tiny kids could play it, and then or you can. Sweet mothers of Mary. I thought that there was, and maybe there is. Maybe this is achievements. Oh, can be played in multiplayer or solo mode. Okay, so I was staring right at it. So anyway, you can play the games with certain setups and certain cards. Like this card had a letter on it, C. So there's an A. There's a bear card that's an A and a B and a C. Anyway, and so you can play with certain cards, and you're trying to get a certain point threshold, and then there's a whole slew. So there's like 15 games you could play here and see if you can get the right scoring objectives accomplished. So, and then over here, this is a whole other thing. Anyway, very well done game. And Cascadia, I love the whole idea of it because it's based out of the Northwest, and that's the Pacific Northwest, which is where I live, and so it kind of hits home a little bit. So, imagine this is going to be a hit for a lot of people, and I think it's been out for a while, but I just I got a good deal on it, so I picked it up. But yeah, anyway, that's what I got going on this weekend. Thank you all for joining me. Until next time on Board Game Rant, I'm out.